Well, good afternoon. It's really an interesting time in Canada, in Manitoba, in southern Manitoba. Why? Well, we had 2 to 4 inches of rain, and I reported on that and some of the water that I saw earlier this morning. But I looked for the Manitoba Crop Report, which always comes out on Mondays, but for some reason it came out on Tuesday, and it just came out a matter of minutes ago from this recording. And it's rather interesting what that crop report says. And thank you very much, Dane Fraze, who's an oilseed specialist who puts that out for Manitoba Agriculture. The weekly provincial summary: provincial seeding progress sits at about 40% completion, behind the 5-year average of 91% for week 21. Progress remains highly variable within each region and even from farm to farm, depending on localized rainfall and soil conditions. And it did not take into consideration the rainfall and rainstorm and windstorm that we had just yesterday and today. Wet and slowly drying soils have presented numerous problems to growers, with many instances of tractors, seeders, and sprayers getting stuck, often in unexpected places. I remember seeing one picture on WhatsApp group, and the yard looked relatively dry. He moved off of the grass onto a field, and the tractor just sunk. And that's what this is talking about. Farm operators are forced to work very long hours, last week of course, or overnight for 24-hour periods in an effort to seed crops while soil and weather conditions permit. Larger farms tend to be slightly further ahead in planting progress than smaller operations. There's so much top-notch equipment that's out there and available to farmers and different things. So, yes, it's interesting as to what is happening. Weather and soil conditions have led to shifting acreage plans or order of operations changes. And so, it's going to be really interesting as to how all of this will come out. Talked to my brother who still farms, and he texted me earlier this morning. He says, "Harry, have you been out driving to take a look at the crop?" Well, that's what prompted me to get out and drive and look at the crop. So yes, it's really going to be interesting. And as somebody said, what's going to happen? Well, it says, number one, it really depends on the weather, again, from here on in, how much warm temperatures and southerly winds. And of course, the good Lord is still in control. So just wanted to do an update with the crop report. Have yourself a great week. That's another update from Siemens Says. Somewhere, sometime, somehow, I will see you again.